What's up, gang? It's Elijah, and today we here with another video, man. Right now we out here in Las Vegas. We in Trevoli Village. We out here chilling. It's like 1 a.m. You know, minding my business, doing some flash shit. You know, but we out here chilling. Basically, topic of the day is why you need to be having your money work for you, especially off of the lifestyle things that you're gonna spend money on anyways. You need to be making sure that your money is paying for those, like while it's working for itself versus you paying for it out of your earned or laborious income. And then, for example, if I'm sitting there working at a fucking steel mill every single day for 90 to 120,000 a year, and I'm spending $80,000 a year on expenses to have a nice car and a nice crib and shit like that, I'm living life ass backwards, because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be able to retire. Like, yeah, I might be able to retire off of a 401k or a pension, but pension's a fucking promise, and there's no guarantee with that. And a 401k could go to shit if we go to war and all your stock prices go to shit. But, for example, like, basically the moral of the story is it's not about a 401k, it's not about a pension, it's about you need to be saving money and putting your money to the side and having your money work for itself. Because, for example, right now I'm paying $4,000 a month for cars alone, if you include my insurance, and that's like income coming out of my own pocket. That's earned income, but I mean, I'm not working for it. It's not laborious income to where it's not that deep to me. But if I was working a job every single fucking day to get the income, then it's like I have to work my whole fucking life, and I have to get up every single day and make sure I make those payments. Versus, you need to be putting money into stocks, bonds, investing into businesses. You need to be putting your money into shit that your money is actually gonna make more money itself. For example, if I have 100,000 and I'm putting it into a stock that's making 8 to 12% on average, off of, what is it, 10,000, I'm gonna make on average 800 to 1,200 at the end of the year. But I'm gonna make that in earned, like, passive income, to where, like, if I go buy a fucking car with $1,200, now I have a car, and not only do I have a car, but it's working. Like, I have money that's paying for the car. I have money that's paying for the expenses. And that's a small, like, general idea and shit. Realistically speaking, $800 to $1,200 is not shit in today's money. But, like, if you have 100,000 or 150,000, 250,000, like, if you were making a 6-figure salary, you easily can realistically put 100,000, 2, 3, 4, 500,000 aside in a 8 to 12 year span. And once you put that type of money up and you have 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 working for itself on an 8 to 12 year return off of just stocks and dividends or S&P. Let's say, for example, S&P, if you bought in October, right now you're up 25%. If I had 100,000 and I put it in, now I'm at 25,000 in profit. And that's to my own pocket, to where I could just live off of, not say live off that profit and shit, because at the end of the day you need to be reinvesting. But I have 25,000 that was free money, that now if I have a $2,000 a month mortgage or $2,000 a month car note, I just got paid for that shit. If I sell the stock, and I just got paid and made that shit passively, and now I'm able to live off of that. You need to focus on doing that, because at the end of the day, if you sit there working for the car note, working for the mortgage, you sitting there working for income and working for, realistically speaking, depreciating assets and depreciating liabilities. Like, if you have a house and it's making money only for appreciation, it's damn near a liability. It might be an appreciating liability, but it's still a fucking liability, because you're paying for your maintenance, you're paying for your upkeep, you're paying for, if your pool filter is fucked up, you got to go get a new pool filter. You're hiring a pool guy to come see your shit once a month. Like, you got all type of shit going on. And it's like, yeah, you might be sitting there on your, well, at least I own this and this, that, da, da, da. But at the end of the day, you're paying for a liability because you're living in it. You're inhabiting it. You're You getting high on your own supply. And basically, like, what you need to be doing is, like, I suggest everybody should be putting money into an IRA. If you're a business owner, have a self-employment IRA. Because if you have a self-employment IRA, you get to write it off. And then if you have a IRA while you're working a job, that's still good and shit to be maxing out your IRA because of good returns, and it's like tax advantages. And same thing with like just basically start getting money to that's working for itself, that's in a market. Open a Charles Schwab investment account. Like, go do things that are actually gonna bring money in return versus you get paid fucking $15,000 on a lawsuit settlement and you go fuck off $15,000 instead of go put it into some shit, and now you're getting paid year over year returns. That's how fucking Warren Buffett is rich. Warren Buffett isn't rich off of sitting here, I'm finna buy Bitcoin at this price and I'm finna do this and I'm finna trade for this and I'm finna trade for that. No. He puts his money in the market of guaranteed locks. Like, he puts his money in shit that he knows is gonna guaranteed win. That's why 90% of Warren Buffett's money came after he turned 60, because it's money that's building over and accumulating year over year. If I put $1 million into the market right now, in 40, 50 years, nigga, that $1 million is gonna turn over and make itself so many more times in a 50-year span, to where shit, if the million makes itself 5 million, it's gonna, in a fucking year span off of that 5 million that it accumulated itself to off of being 1 million, it's gonna turn itself to 500,000 on a 10% return year over year once I make it 5 million. Now, off of $1 million investment, I'm making 500,000 a year off of what is 5 million now. And it's just stuff like that that people need to be realistically preparing themselves for, and realistically putting themselves in, like, basically a safety net in environments where if your business collapses, if your income collapses, your Cardinal's still gonna get paid by dividends or by passive return that are guaranteed and stuff like that, versus if you get shot in the fucking leg today by your ex-girlfriend, your ass can't go to work no more, bro. And now your ass can't go to work. Now your car, you fucking up, you missing your car note payments, you missing this payment, you missing your mortgage, now you damn near homeless and you don't got a fucking car. Versus if you was sitting there saving 20, 30,000 a year for 5 to 10 years, now you have a $30,000 passive income that's coming in year over year over year, and that's guaranteed money. And it's like stuff like that you need to be investing into, versus boom, you sitting there making 120 a year, you're spending 80 on lifestyle. This shit's ass backwards. You need to be investing. You need to be making sure that you're putting yourself in the best predicament possible. So realistically, I think everybody needs to have $2 to $3 million saved up in money that's working for itself. Because realistically speaking, if somebody has, okay, whatever, I might be tweaking, but because the way I like process money and think about money is different. I have a bigger financial thermostat. Like me, if I don't make 12,000 a year or 12,000 a month, I'm gonna miss one of my bills, to where like that's money that has to be made regardless. So my financial bubble is a little like ignorant to maybe other people's situation. But for example, I think at least $1 million is standard, because right now we're retiring and stuff. They say, factually speaking, like making 80,000 a year right now is struggling. If you're making 8% on the market, you need $1 million to make $80,000 a year. And according to all the articles and shit, $80,000 a year is struggling still. So even retired, making 8% on your money, you're still gonna be struggling making 80,000 a year. So it's like at the end of the day, it's like everybody really realistically needs fucking $1 million saved up in money that's working for itself. Alright, I started rambling a little bit, but moral of the topic is people need to be invested, especially if you have jobs that match your income. If you have a job that's gonna match a percentage on a 401k or gonna do stuff like that. Because I know people who have fucking jobs that they've been at for 10 years and never set up a 401k, career paths that they've been in for 5, 4, 10 years, and they're not putting at least 10% of their income up into a 401k. If you do that, like only 10%, you're gonna be playing with damn near, if you're making a 6-figure salary 5 years, you're gonna be playing with at least $50,000, to where it's like, if you even wanna pull that shit out today, you can still pull it out and now you have $50,000 for free. Now that's a down payment on an investment property or something like that. That's my whole main topic is of this like video. Make sure that you're putting money up for the long term and trying to make your money work for itself, because at the end of the day, not everything is promised, not every day is promised, your health isn't promised, and at the end of the day, you need to have money working for itself so where you can really start focusing on your net worth and really putting money up. Because if you have money that's working for itself, to where your lifestyle is damn near free because it's gonna get paid regardless, your car is gonna get paid for free because it's damn near free because you're making it off of your dividends or you're making it off your profit returns year over year, like you're putting yourself in a win-win situation. Versus if you're sitting there struggling for everything, like you really don't have no money to put up for your net worth. You have money to put up for your net worth and to keep growing your net worth. If you're living in a property that's a fucking duplex and your mortgage is getting paid by your neighbor that's your tenant, or you have cars and they're renting themselves out, or you have a paid off car that you bought and you just keep driving it, you're not thirsty for a lifestyle inflation. If you can be content with having an $8,000 to $12,000 car just for a little bit while you sit there and grow your net worth, you really can start putting yourself in better financial freedom positions. Because if you're making even $70,000 a year, but all your bills are getting paid for passively, or you have no car note, you have no mortgage, like everything you did is damn near paid off, you have an opportunity to put $70,000 into your net worth and continue to accumulate and continue to grow as a person financially. Versus if you're sitting there making $70,000 a year and you're spending $50,000 a year on lifestyle, you're putting yourself in a position where you're really just fucked. Like you're putting yourself in a bubble and you're getting used to just running your head into the wall year over year over year. And you're never gonna be able to win, you're never gonna be able to succeed. You're just gonna be fucked. And you're gonna be 90% of the time you're putting yourself in debt, because realistically speaking, you're gonna have a dumbass mortgage or a dumbass car payment, and you're just putting yourself in bad situations versus putting yourself into things that might not be the best. Yeah, you might not have the most luxurious fucking townhouse, but you have a townhouse, you have a tenant that's able to pay for the rent while you're living in the other side of the townhouse. And it's putting yourself in a better position to where in the longevity of it, 5, 10, 15 years down the line, you're able to go buy the properties that you want. You're able to go do what you want. And you're gonna be living off of your investments that you're making and starting today. That's my whole moral of the story and moral of the topic. Make sure that you're doing things that are gonna be growing you financially and putting you in position today to where you don't have to really worry about tomorrow's car note, you don't have to worry about tomorrow's mortgage, and you're putting yourself in the best financial position possible right now at this moment. Because living paycheck to paycheck or car note to car note, fucking rent to rent and shit like that, at the end of the day, you're just putting yourself in a fucking doomsday scenario. Because at the end of the day, prices on everything are going up. Groceries going up, the average car payment's going up, the average mortgage payment's at an all-time high. And it's like, if you put yourself in position right now to lock yourself in certain circumstances to where you don't have to worry about a dumbass car payment or a dumbass mortgage, and you're sitting there able to live passively off of your means that you're already creating for yourself, you're putting yourself in the best position. Versus keep trying to throw yourself into a booby trap to catch up with lifestyle inflation, when it's just not realistic, it's not logical. And a lot of this stuff has tax incentives. Like if you go start a 401k or an IRA, or you're doing something like that and you're self-employed, you're able to benefit off that in taxes. And same thing off of like shit, even if you're working a job and shit, you have a lot of incentives and shit, because not 90% of the time, but majority of the time, your job might have some type of retirement plan or something that you could be putting your money into, to where you're actually growing a net worth versus a net negative. All these things are net negatives. A car payment on something that you don't own 100% is a net negative. a mortgage payment on something that you're just living in as a liability, it's a net negative. And it's just putting yourself deeper and deeper in a hole for yourself, and it's making it harder for you to actually grow and get your foot in the race. Because at the end of the day, you're sitting there behind while the person that sat there for a couple years in that weak ass duplex and he rented it out, renovated it, and was able to grow and sat there in that weak ass car for 4 or 5 years, the hoopty wootity woo, and he sat there in a $5,000 car and just got to and from all his destinations. They're gonna be the ones that are the real winners at the end of the race, because they're able to grow their net worth year over year, day over day, and they're able to put themselves in the best position financially versus living in a moment and not really building your net worth as a person and as an individual. It's putting yourself in the worst position, and the net negatives are what's really gonna catch up to you at the end of the day when you're fucking 50, 60, 45 and shit like that, and you're like, damn, I still don't own a house, I still don't own a car, I'm still shit every couple years I'm trying to buy a new car, lease a new car, do this, do that. I'm always want to rent the newest condo, I want to rent the most luxurious apartment. You're putting yourself in the worst position possible. And it's like when you're 30, 40, 50, 60, you're gonna feel it. Like the shit's gonna hurt. You're gonna be stinging yourself. Like you're gonna be smacking yourself in the back of your fucking neck. Like, damn, I should have bought a house, bro. Because all your peers going, yeah, I bought a house, I got a car, I got this, I got that. You're gonna be sitting there like, well, I rented, and yeah, I was in the newest fly shit every single year over year. Niggas don't remember seeing me in an old car, whoop-de-whoop. But what do you really have, though? You don't have no net worth. You have debt. You might still be carrying a balance on a fucking car note. You might still be sitting there in a luxury loft, but at the end of the day, you don't own shit, and you have no net worth. You're still just living paycheck to paycheck. And at the end of the day, you just need to be growing your wealth and trying to make everything work for itself versus you sitting there working for things that have no value at the end of the day. And yeah, that's just the moral of the subject. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Make sure y'all subscribe.